absolutely kicking my butt. So I had to hop out here real quick and I had to water my containers. When you are watering in fall, typically you don't need as much water as you would like, you know, during the normal planting season. But when we have days like this, like today, where the wind is absolutely kicking my butt, it's been windy all day long, but that's okay. So I hopped out here and I gave a mid-watering. Started to notice yesterday during the nighttime that the wind was kicking up, but because it was going into the night, I went ahead and I let the root ball set there. I got up early in the morning, I gave them a watering. The wind kind of picked up, and so I came and I gave them a midday watering. We are going to finally put the pumpkins in place that we shopped for recently. We went to a local pumpkin patch, shopped, we bought a variation of pumpkins, and we kind of set those off to the side. We came back in another video. We planted up these front containers. I have a menagerie of pumpkins lying down here on the bottom. Pumpkins that were left over from other planting projects here on the channel. So I want to go in, we're going to get our pumpkin stacked together, and then we'll move on to the next planting. I'm so excited because although I have these 2 containers right here, it's not official because I don't have my gatherings of pumpkins out here. And normally what I like to do is once I end up pulling like the majority of my pumpkins, if I see 2 pumpkins, I'll normally just drop those 2 pumpkins there till I change out, you know, my winter containers. Let's start arranging the pumpkins. You see I have the stack here, right? So we're going to mimic these. Now in the last video, I still have my lights on. Let me turn off my lights. Okay, so now we coming correct now. We're correct. With my pumpkin selection, I chose my pumpkin selection based off of design and contrast. So I knew I was going to be coming in with these soft yellow pansies to come around the doorway. So each year in my garden, yellow is always a color that I like to do in my garden, especially in the fall time and especially in that spring. You're going to see some type of yellow sprinkled throughout there. And most often you will see some type of yellow sprinkled somewhere in throughout there in my summer design. Yellow is a staple for me in the garden. In the fall time, orange is another staple for me. So when I chose my pumpkins based off of what I felt like would complement the design. Now, I started to come in as an alternative because every year when I make out what I'm doing for my garden, when I make my plans out the year before, I always have an alternative plan. So my alternative plan was to come in and use white and yellow pumpkins, but I was able to find the selection of pumpkins that I thought would really just accent this area and make it stand out on its own. What we have here is we have our pumpkin stack. So over here on this side, we want to come in and we want to do another pumpkin stack as well. So we're going to start with this big pumpkin right here. Okay, we're going to set this one right here in the front so it gives us that look, and then we'll wipe this off real quick. Make sure we don't have any water inside of the pumpkin here because that's going to only help it rot a little bit faster. Although the ground is wet, the ground will dry up. Perfect. So next one, size-wise, I think we're going to go with the white here for our next stacker because it's our next biggest one. We'll have this one just come and lean into the side here. I want to pull this one and I'll take this one out and I'll put this one right here, and then I'll just tuck this one right here. Can you see like the repeated pumpkins here? You got the orange and you got the colors repeat just at a larger scale. Then we tuck the white one in here and the white one in there. I have this beautiful grouping of mums here. You guys, these mums are absolutely beautiful and gorgeous. They are just working their magic, honey. So we picked these up. Now it's time to get these in the ground. But before we can get these mums in the ground, I have some more in my car that I need to go get. So let's go grab those. Don't these just look absolutely amazing? So these are going to be a perfect pair. Now, although these are white, you can see where they have like the cream inside, and that's going to pair really nicely with our yellow mums here. So we're going to put these in a design, and we're going to get these popped into the ground here. There's a space right here that we have to work with. So we have a nice big size right here, and it's going to complement all of our fall planting. Everything is going to be nice once everything gets planted and come together. Show you guys something. So you see the bottom of this root ball. Now with your mums, you can go in, you can pull this apart, but they're not really root bound. You don't necessarily see issues with the plants being root bound, except for the ones that come in those smaller cans. So in order to have good results with your mums, you want to make sure when you put them in the ground or when you put them in a container, you want to make sure that they are well hydrated. These are well hydrated. I do have one that is not as well hydrated, and I'll show you that in just a second. But it's still going to be used, and I guarantee you it's going to last a season. Actually, in a couple days, it's going to look absolutely amazing. I know y'all see this walk of shame. So these were all purchased at one time, and for some reason, this one right here was not getting watered. So we're going to let this plant soak up the water, and we're going to pop this baby in the ground right with the rest of them. We're going to let it soak it in, and it's going right on in there with its sisters. Totally loving this. The pansy here was the inspiration for the yellow and the white mums, and I'm loving the way everything looks. So we use the mums in an alternating pattern. Now the white mums are bloomed out a lot more than our yellow mums are here, but that's perfectly fine. They'll catch up with one another. I'll shear them all back at one time, so everything will work out in the end. But I'm just totally loving this look. Now, judging from this, are you able to gauge which mum that was looking like it was on its deathbed, like it was looking that it needed to just be put in a plant ICU? Comment below and let me know. But I am just loving this color, this pop, and it's really speaking fall to me. I don't know. Drop down in the comment box and let me know. Are these colors speaking fall, or are they speaking fall? Are they falling or falling? Birthday gifts have already started to pour in for my birthday, and I am a true believer that on your birthday is your day. I know some of us, we take the whole month, some of us take 2-3 months for our birthday, but I like to request for birthday gifts that pertain to the garden. So I'll say, okay, give me a gift certificate to Lowe's, give me a gift certificate to Home Depot, because a lot of people don't necessarily shop at garden centers for one reason or the next. And I'll say, hey, if you're in the area of Sherwood Forest, get me this. And then sometimes I'll have my friends call me and they'll say, what have you seen at this place or that place? tell me how much it is, and then I'll drop you off a check or I'll send you some money, you know, those type of things. But I wanted to share with you guys some containers that I just recently got. So let's start off with the big one. So this one right here is a square terracotta window box, you guys. Now, with this type of container, you cannot go wrong. You can really dress this up, you can dress it down, you can take it over the top. It really does not matter with this type of look, and I'm so excited. It's really deep on the inside. You see how far my hand goes down in here? So it's a really deep pot, and you can really give an extravagant show with this type of container. So it's right up my alley. So we'll set her off to the side. And then we will look at our next one. So our next one is a Berg's planter. And it's actually the saucer to the planter. This again is another Berg's saucer to the planter. And we have this size of container right here. So you guys, that goes to that. And then this goes right here. All right, let's get this off of the table. Now, if I move to the side here, you guys, this matches this set. So now I have a set. Now I will work on getting a matching set, so then I double, but I still can come in and do a beautiful display, work on a beautiful collection here with just the 4-piece that I have right here. Because when you're doing and you're working and you're arranging with containers, you don't necessarily always have to have a grouping of 3 times 2, so 6 containers, 1 of each size. You can do a beautiful grouping where you come in and you group these just like this. You see what I'm saying? So you put the sizes that match on either side, and then you have your stair steps. So while someone may be walking around an entryway foyer or around the table, they don't even see this sweetheart tucked off right here behind the back. So that's why I feel like this is a bonus. So I'm so excited, you guys. Berg's pots. If you can get your hands on Berg's pots, you guys, you can get them from online. Check with your local garden centers. Try to get you some, because it's going to only elevate your container collection. And I'm so excited that I have these pieces. I'm like uber excited. What we're going to do is we are going to put these back up, and I have some space here, so I think that's where I'm going to add these new ones up here at the top here. And I can just set my saucers up here. Now, as for this container right here, the name brand on this is Spain, Germany, and it's a 30 centimeter pot. So that would be like 11.8 inches. I don't know if my math is correct, but about 12 inches. So this is what we're looking at right here. You guys, this is amazing. This is gorgeous. And I can't wait to plant this beauty up. But as far as where we can put this at right now, I think we're going to have to tuck this baby away. Okay, that works right there for me. I don't know. Comment below and let me know if that works for you. I like to showcase my containers. It's something that I've done for years. I like to have my containers inside of china cabinets, display cabinets, you guys, because when you actually take the time out, when you're a collector of things, there's no hiding it. I love to collect, you guys. This is absolutely amazing. Like, I love it. But I wanted to bring you guys inside of my greenhouse because we are getting ready to pot up some amaryllis bulbs. Now, I'ma just let y'all in on behind the scenes. Y'all already know I got some amaryllis bulbs that's been cooking up for weeks. So these were also a gift. So I got 3 new amaryllis bulbs and they said they were pink in color. So it's giving me more of like that. When they said that, I'm thinking it's more like an apple blossom. The things that I like to do during the winter time, and it gets me from like the late fall into the early spring, is winter gardening. Just because it's going to be snow outside, you can have blooming plants on the inside of your home. And one of the ways that you can do that is by using amaryllis, paper whites. Now, don't get me wrong, paper whites have a scent to them, so just be mindful of that. But amaryllis bulbs, you guys, when I tell you, they just go and go and go, and you just never know. It's always like a surprise depending on how many flowers you're going to get on that stem. So I think what we're going to do is we're going to pot these up. Now, normally when I pot up my amaryllis bulbs, what I like to do is I'll put them in just a plain black container like I have right here. Let me grab one. So oftentimes I'll throw my amaryllis bulbs in a container just like this. For this one, I don't know. I think what I'm going to do is, since I do not know how these bulbs are actually going to be looking, I think I will go ahead and pot these up in a container just like this. And we'll just put like a pinkish, maybe apple blossom, because when they was explaining to me, I'm like, why didn't you say the packaging, child? I couldn't figure out what it was. But you know what? It was a gift, so I can't, you know what I'm saying. I don't want to make nobody feel uncomfortable when they give me a gift. So I was just like, okay. And plus I was super excited. When I tell you on a scale of 0 to 10, I was on a scale of 250, as if I needed to be excited about having any more amaryllis bulbs, because I have a ton of amaryllis bulbs. And I'm super duper excited. But the sweet thing about this is I gifted my friend 2 amaryllis bulbs last year, right? And she gave me back 3. How sweet is that? So let's plant these up. And one of the things I will say, and I just thought about this. Now, if you're wanting your amaryllis bulbs to come in sooner, right? One time when I was a little girl, I got gifted some amaryllis bulbs. One of them I wanted to put in water, and the other one I wanted to put in soil, because it's not like I had like a big collection like now. And it's not like I had a ton of money to go buy more. So what I did with one is I put one in water, and then I put the other one inside of soil. When one of my family members seen it, they was like, you gonna rot that bulb out? And so I immediately grabbed the one that was in water and I potted that one up in soil. Now, it was the same variety of bulb. They were both planted at the same time, just one was in water, one was in soil. The one that was in water came up before the other one. And I mean, when I tell you came up before the other one. So later on down the road, as I became an adult, what I did was I kept thinking about that, like how soon that bulb came into bloom, the one that was in water versus the one that was not. So what I did was I came and I tested that experiment later on in life as I became, you know, when I became an adult. And you guys, if you want your amaryllis bulbs to bloom faster, what you can do is you can hydrate the bulb just like I did. So it's the same philosophy. When I had that bulb sitting in water and it took that water up, it got bloomed sooner. So let's go ahead, let's pot these up. Amaryllis bulbs really prefer to be crowded, and that's why a lot of times when you see amaryllis bulbs, you'll see them in like a tight container. So what you can do is you can give your amaryllis bulbs a little bit of space in the container, but not too much. So you don't want to just have one lone bulb in a big huge container like something like this. So you want to make sure, you know, you have an adequate size and the roots are going to grow. Drop down in the comment box and let me know, have you started planting up any amaryllis bulbs? So with your amaryllis bulbs, you don't want to bury them too deep. Just nicely tuck your root system in inside of there, and you go ahead and you water it in. Very nice and simple, you guys. Simple and plain. See how easy that was? And I do think what we'll do is for this one right here, I do want to go ahead and just slap it in a container. What I like to do is I go ahead and I wake my bulbs up and I water them in. I let them get some water. Now, you don't want to water your bulb too much, but you definitely don't want your bulb to dry out. That doesn't mean that you have to come in and hit it with water every day. So I normally give them a real good watering in the first time. And then after that, I'll go ahead and once I start seeing some green growth, then I will come in. Then I will start to make sure I don't let it dry out, because you want to make sure your amaryllis bulbs are hydrated. That way it can continue to provide you with beautiful blooms. I'm telling you, you guys, when I tell you all winter long, like the looks that you can do with some amaryllis bulbs are just off the chain. Imagination, especially if you're creative. Your imagination can just go, or at least mine does. So drop down in the comment box. Let me know, are you planting up any amaryllis bulbs? Do you have some on order? I would love to hear about it.